I think that this is an interesting conversation talking about quarterback play, because that has translated to your power rankings that we update every single week in terms of the number. And you look at the top 5 that have largely quarterbacks that we, with the exception of the San Francisco 49ers, that we consider elite quarterbacks in the National Football League. And then the bottom 5 are the latter.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, we can everybody can cling to the Purdy's the 7th rounder, but the kid plays pretty well compared to the rest of the market. I mean, Josh Allen throws an interception, nobody complains. He's lead the NFL in interceptions this year. He's one ahead of Baker Mayfield for interception. No one brings it up. Brock Purdy throws one. He's a 7th round pick. Like, at some point, we got to stop that nonsense, right? The guy plays really well. His numbers are really good. And so when you break down these teams, when you look at the top 5 teams, that's all about their quarterback, right? I mean, their quarterbacks can play really well, whereas look at the bottom 5 teams. Caesar, you can put that graphic up there. I mean, tell me where they're getting quarterbacking play. Yeah. I mean, New England's got a 4th and 7th. Tyron Thornton runs a really good route, runs like a sail post, like a sail route. Wide open by 2 feet, but at least a high school wide open. Let me put it that way. And Mac Jones can't complete it. Bryce Young throws 2 pick sixes. Tyson Bagent ends up turning the ball over 5 times. Cardinals, Clayton Tune, coaching malpractice. I mean, we talk about Tommy DeVito. That's just not fair.
Yeah.
He's going to go in there with Micah Parsons, and they can't really run the ball. I mean, that's not fair. I mean, you're better off running the single wing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation for the Giants. You feel, I mean, and there's only so much you can feel for the leadership group out there, because they made their bed and now they have to sleep in it when it comes to the Daniel Jones contract. But having him get injured multiple times in different ways, Tyrod Taylor, their backup, who was at least like doing enough to give them an opportunity to win, even though it was still ugly in that standpoint, he gets hurt. So now you're stuck with this situation. And for Arizona, yeah, Clayton Tune put in a great situation against one of the best defenses in the NFL last week against the Browns. And so that was an ugly look. So there's your bottom 5: New England, Carolina, Chicago, Arizona, and the New York Giants, who are just going like down based on their injury situation, to the top 5, where we do have some shakeup. And you, based on your numbers, now have officially the Baltimore Ravens as your top team in the National Football League.
They are really good in so many categories, Stormy. And when you break them down, they keep improving. I mean, they have made a giant step forward compared to where they were a week ago. I mean, a week ago when I have my numbers, I mean, you're sitting there thinking about, oh, well, they're just not quite as good, or they didn't do this. No. They're really good. And they really do an incredible job. And they're able to get pressure on the quarterback the way I wrote in my notes. I mean, you look at Jadeveon Clowney, he's playing really well, and you look at Kyle Van Noy, he's already got 6 sacks for their team. I mean, they have really played well. In the last 5 weeks, they're one of the best teams in the league. And, whereas they make everybody look bad. This line is at 6, Stormy, against Cleveland, and Watson's playing. There's no doubt about it. And I feel like it's a trap. I feel it's like the time when Kansas City played the Chargers at home when they were a 5.5-point favorite, right? And everybody, me included, you got to take the Chargers. It'll be a close game. They play each other close, yada, yada, yada. Well, do they? That didn't cover. And so to me, the way they're playing right now, the way Baltimore's playing right now, and can Cleveland do anything against them? That remains to be seen.
Baltimore, number 1. You still have Kansas City there in the top 2, number 2. The 49ers, despite being on this 3-game skid, they're coming off a bye at 3. Philadelphia 4, and the Cincinnati Bengals are officially up there in the standings at 5. They're a 6.5-point favorite against the Texans this week. So actually seeing some people take that 7 with Houston, and that Cincinnati might not cover that 6-point spread. That's interesting to me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see that one, right? It's consistent. Like Houston, look, on the road, they're a different team, right? They go to Carolina and they struggled. I think he had 140 yards. Carolina played really well against them. At home, he was really good. This will be a better defense for Stroud. Pierce didn't practice again today, so they're not going to be able to run the football. But, God, he was so good last week. It's hard to go against him.
How good is the AFC North right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, and the best part about the AFC North is the fact that Lamar Jackson didn't play his best game the other night. And he wasn't near as good as he typically is, right? And then we got Cleveland, which Watson didn't have to play very good. They won easily. And then you got Pittsburgh, which wins ugly. And then Cincinnati, to me, Burrow could be the MVP.
Such a fun division.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.